All right, thank you guys. Happy Sunday morning to you. And if you really end up enjoying this video, please feel free to give it a thumbs up by smashing that like button. And if you're new here and you haven't already hit that subscribe button yet, please feel free to do that right now as well. I'd greatly appreciate it. And for those who didn't already know, my name is Brock Page, and I do sports picks for free right here on YouTube. And with that, guys, we got ourselves a pretty good slate of Sunday college basketball action, a couple marquee games here. So let's go ahead and dive into it. It's all fired up, ready to go on the big screen behind me. And we're going to start with Michigan State taking on Ohio State. 1 p.m. Eastern tip-off in Columbus. The Buckeyes are -7 at home. Total's 143.5. And if you like the Spartans in an upset on the road here, they're plus 240 to win it outright. Now, Michigan State's played just one game since January 8th, and that was a humiliating 30-point loss to Rutgers just a few nights ago. The Spartans have lost 5 out of their last 7, and they find themselves a dismal 1-9 against the spread in their last 10. Michigan State scores just 63 points a game on the road, and they make only 25% of their three-pointers when they travel. They're taking on an Ohio State team who's 8-1 straight up on their home court, and they score nearly 80 points a night at the Value City Arena. E.J. Liddell is scoring 15 points a night along with 7 rebounds. Meanwhile, Dwayne Washington Jr. scoring 15 points a game himself, along with 3 rebounds and 3 assists. Washington's draining 90% of his free throws as well. And speaking of free throws, Ohio State's in the top 30 in the country in free throw percentage. Now, total-wise, Ohio State's 5-4 to the under as the home team. Michigan State saw 4 out of their last 5 on the road stay under the line themselves. I'm going to lean toward the Ohio State Buckeyes -7 and the under 143.5. And moving on, we're going to take a look at Illinois State versus Drake. 3 p.m. Eastern start time. The Drake Bulldogs are -18 at home. Numbers 142 flat. Now, Drake's a perfect 15-0 straight up on the season. 13-0 against the spread in their last 13 qualifying ball games. The Bulldogs are in the top 5 in the nation in field goal percentage. Top 3 in shooting the 3-ball. Shanquan Hemphill is scoring 15 points a game along with 5 rebounds and 21 total steals. Meanwhile, Roman Penn's also scoring 13 points a game along with 3 boards and 5 assists himself. Now, Drake scores nearly 90 points a game on their home court, and they make well over 56% of their field goals in that same category. The Bulldogs are also holding their opponents to just 58 points a night at the Knapp Center. They're taking on an Illinois State squad who's on a 2-game losing streak, while also dropping 7 out of their last 9. Now, the Redbirds are giving up 79 points a game on the road, and they lost 6 out of their last 7 when traveling. Illinois State's gone just 2-7 against the spread in their last 9 as well. And when it comes to the scoring in this one, the Redbirds are 6-2 to the over away from home this season. Drake's 5-1 to the over on their home court. I'm going to lean toward the Drake Bulldogs -18 in the over 142. Next contest, Loyola Chicago versus Missouri State, 3 p.m. East. Loyola Chicago is -6, totals 136.5. Now, the Ramblers of Loyola, they're on a 6-game winning streak, 9-1 against the spread in their last 10. Loyola's in the top 10 in offensive field goal percentage, top 10 in defensive rebounding. Now, the Ramblers are giving up just 57 points per contest. Cameron Krutwig is scoring 15 points a game along with 6 rebounds and a couple assists. Meanwhile, Tate Hall is scoring 10 a night himself along with 3 boards and 2 assists. Now, they're taking on a Missouri State team who lost their last 2 straight themselves, and they actually make only 32% of their three-pointers at home. Now, total-wise, 5 out of Missouri State's last 7 qualifying contests got over the line. 4-2 to the over as the official home team. Meanwhile, Loyola's 6-3 to the over in their last 9 with the Bears. I'm going to lean toward the Loyola Chicago Ramblers -6 and the over 136.5. All right, next contest, it is going to be St. John's versus Marquette. 3:30 p.m. Eastern tip-off at the Fiserv Forum. Marquette's -5, numbers 151. Marquette's on a 2-game losing streak, just 1-8 against the spread in their last 9. Now they're taking on a St. John's team who's on a 3-game winning streak themselves, and they also successfully covered the point spread in their last 5 straight. Now the Red Storm scores 80 points a night, and they're led by Julian Champagny, who's scoring 20 points a game along with 7 rebounds. Now the 6'8 guard has also recorded 23 steals and 19 blocks. Meanwhile, Greg Williams Jr. is also scoring 11 a game for St. John's, along with 3 rebounds and a couple of steals a game himself. Definitely keep an eye on Williams, though, as he's currently struggling with back problems. So if you're looking to fire on this game, just keep an eye on that injury report. Maybe subscribe to St. John's Twitter and follow that seriously. But anyway, St. John's, they've successfully covered the number in 6 out of their last 10 games with Marquette. And when it comes to the total in this one, 3 out of St. John's last 5 contests stayed under the number. Marquette saw their last 3 straight stay under the line themselves. Marquette's also 10-6 to the under for the entire season. I'm going to lean toward the underdog St. John's Red Storm +5 and the under 151. You know, about those Twitter accounts, a lot of times you find out if a game has been postponed or canceled with those. They're valuable sources of information for these college basketball games. But anyway, next matchup, Bradley, Indiana State, 4 p.m. East. Bradley's -1, totals 143. Bradley's on a 4-game losing streak, 2-6 against the spread in their last 8. The Braves are making just 32% of their three-pointers. They lost 5 of 6 on the road this season. They're taking on an Indiana State team who's on a 4-game winning streak themselves and also went 4-2 against the number in their last 6. Now, the Sycamores have won 6 of 9 on their home court, and they're making nearly 77% of their free throws. Tyreek Key is scoring 15 points a game for the Six, 5 rebounds, and 2 assists for the senior guard. Tyreek's also drilling 89% of his foul shots. Meanwhile, 6'9 sophomore Jake LaRavia's scoring over a dozen a game himself, along with 6 boards and a couple assists. The Sycamores allowed just 66 points a game on their home court. Now, total-wise, Indiana State's 4-1 to the under in their last 5, 7-1 to the under on their home court. Meanwhile, 3 out of Bradley's last 4 stayed under the number themselves. I'm going to lean toward the underdog Indiana State Sycamores +1 and the under 143. All right, next contest, it is going to be Rutgers versus Northwestern, 7:30 p.m. East at the Welsh Ryan Arena. Now, the Rutgers Scarlet Knights are -4.5 on the road, totals 140 and a hook. But despite coming off a very impressive victory over Sparty the other day, Rutgers has still dropped 5 out of their last 7 contests, and they make less than 55% of their free throws on the road. As a matter of fact, the Scarlet Knights are scoring just 65 points a game when they travel, and they're also shooting just 42% from the field in that same category. They're taking on a Northwestern team who's 5-3 straight up on their home court, despite all their recent struggles. The Cats are scoring 82 points a game at home, and they find themselves making nearly 40% of their three-pointers on their home court. Now, Miller Kopp scoring 14 points a game for Northwestern, along with 3 rebounds. The 6'7 junior is also making 88% of his free throws, and he's also drilling nearly 46% of his 3 balls. Meanwhile, Chase Audige scoring a dozen a game himself, along with 3 rebounds and a pair of assists. Total-wise, 3 out of Northwestern's last 4 got over the line, 6-3 to the over in their last 9. Meanwhile, Rutgers went 4-2 to the over in their last 6 against Northwestern. If you're into historical trends, I'm going to lean toward the Northwestern Wildcats +4.5 and the over 140 and a hook. And with that, guys, we're going to dive into our next and final matchup for the show. It is going to be UNLV versus Nevada, and that's going to be a 9:30 p.m. Eastern tip-off. The Nevada Wolfpacks -2, totals 142.5. Now, the Wolfpacks covered 7 out of their last 10 ball games, 5-2 straight up on their home court this season. Nevada's holding their opponents to just 40% shooting from the field, and they also make over 75% of their free throws. Grant Sherfield scoring 19 points a game along with 4 rebounds and 6 assists. The sophomore guard is also making 88% of his free throws, and he's recorded 27 total steals on the season already. Meanwhile, Desmond Cambridge Jr. is also scoring over 15 points a night himself, 4 rebounds, 3 assists for the 6'4 junior. Cambridge is currently 87% from the stripe as well. They're taking on a running Rebel squad who's lost 5 of 6 away from their home court, and they give up over 75 points a game as the official road team. Now, UNLV is letting their opponents make 41% of their three-pointers when they travel. The Rebels have dropped 8 out of their last 10 head-to-head meetings with the Wolfpack. Now, total-wise, UNLV did go 8-2 to the over in those 10 meetings with Nevada. Meanwhile, the Wolfpack's 4-2 to the over at the Loyola Event Center. I'm going to lean toward the Nevada Wolfpack -2 and the over 142.5. And with that, guys, we're going to dive into our quick pick recap. Once again, brought to you by patreon.com/BrockPage, where we are 3-0 in our last 3 Underdog tier package picks. I like Ohio State -7, under 143.5. Drake -18, over 142. Loyola Chicago -6, over 136.5. The St. John's Red Storm +5, under 151. Indiana State +1, under 143. Northwestern +4.5, over 140 and a hook. And before I give you our next and final contest for the show, one final reminder to please smash that thumbs up button if you enjoyed this video here today. You can also subscribe right now if you haven't done so already. Give me the Nevada Wolfpack -2 and the over 142.5. And with that, guys, we're going to dive into some shout-outs to our top 10 commenters over the past couple of days or so. Shout out to J2009 Fun, Isaiah Moore, Mickey Tech, Get a King, Renisha Brown, Carter Brown, Dory Toast, Words of Wisdoms, Fernando Coronado, and last but certainly not least, got to give a shout out to my good friend, Kendall Allen. All right, guys, that's going to do it for me. Don't forget to check me out on Patreon. Now, you guys might have noticed today that I didn't go through my traditional Patreon spiels, and the reason for that is Patreon bills you the day you sign up and then the first of every month following that. So really your best value is to sign up either on the first of every month or toward the beginning of each month, because the fact of the matter is if you end up signing up here today, not only are you going to get billed today, but you're going to get billed tomorrow as well. Once again, Patreon, the way their billing cycle set up, they bill you the day you sign up and then the first of every month following that. So I just figured I'd give you a heads up on that. But, I mean, listen, if you feel like there's value in getting to today's games, by all means go for it. I won't be upset with you. But once again, I can't reiterate it enough. I say it in every video at the end. Patreon will bill you the day you sign up, and then the first of every month following that. Your max value is to sign up on the first of every month. But anyway, guys, most importantly, I got to thank you for joining me right here on YouTube. I really hope you enjoyed all this great free content, all this great free information. And with that said, happy Sunday to you. Best of luck to you. And I look forward to seeing you later on today on that website at patreon.com/BrockPage.